Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Doing good.
So today we are talking about the Cavalier Geneva Black Series Robusto. Cigar is 5-inch by 50 ring gauge. Comes out of the San Judas Tadeo factory in Honduras. The wrapper is Mexican San Andres Negra. The binder is Brazilian Arapiraca, and the filler is from Nicaragua and Honduras. Blended by Sebastian Dicopet and Aiden Perez. Price point is $10, and this cigar was released in February of 2017. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your pre-light experience like?
It was overall good. I thought that the wrapper had like a thick construction paper-like consistency to it. Maduro shade, things well pressed, seems tight, and pretty invincible. Bunch roll felt pretty good. No soft spots, uniform give. What we affectionately like to call a man bun. The cap had a well adhered, and I think with mine, it only had a singular thick cap on it, so
Mhm.
which was interesting. I thought. In terms of the pre-lighted nosing experience, wrapper, I got some cardboard box and black tea. Smelling the foot, white pepper, dry nuts. Cold draw, that same cardboard box. A little bit of a lip tingling white pepper spice and dry wood going on.
Yeah, wrapper was dark brown. Had some even darker marbling to it. The veins and the seams were really barely visible. Kind of how that color pattern was there. Just like you said, looked like there was a single cap. Had that pigtail that was wrapped up really well. It was very well secured to the head. Single band kind of has that standard Cavalier Geneva design, but the color combination is black with the gold artwork on it. The most notable feature of the presentation is definitely the gold diamond. That's now I'm blanking on the right term for it, but it's kind of it's laid on the wrapper, so that's pretty neat. Uh, I guess gold leaf would be the right term for it. Aroma from the wrapper was like a mix of earthiness and manure, and the foot gave a mix of cardboard and a little bit of stone fruit sweetness. And pre-light draw brought out that same kind of mix of that stone fruit sweetness and some cardboard that I was getting from the foot aroma. So it was pretty nice. Flavor-wise, what was the experience that you had?
Overall, a medium body, medium strength kind of a delivery. Starting from the first third, I got a mixture of medium body sweet cream, hay, very well mannered, kind of a tapered black pepper spice going on, and dry oak. Through the nose, deeper notes of black pepper, dry nuts, sharp oak, and cream. The finish, shorter side with dry wood and subtle black pepper. Moving on to the second third. The second third is pretty similar to that first third. The profile loses that hay note, but it becomes a little bit more spice dominant, just ever so slightly. But still, I'm still getting that mixture of that medium body sweet cream, tapered black pepper spice, and dry oak. Retrohale, I started getting some intermittent stone fruits in addition to the same retro notes that I got from the first third, which is that deeper black pepper, dry nuts, sharp oak, and cream. The finish I thought was a little bit lengthier within the second third, kind of like medium in length, but with the same flavors of that same dry oak, dry wood, and subtle black pepper. Moving on to last third, not much going on from transitioning from last second third to last third. Aside from that, right around that gold leaf portion mark, the cigar picked up like a wooded sort of a bitterness to it, or like a slight harshness. Um, I was trying to see if it was truly, it kind of played a little like trick on my head. I'm like, is this because it is gold leaf, or am I really tasting this? But
Right.
I'm going with the taste of it. So aside from that, still the same flavors of that medium body sweet cream, tapered black pepper, and dry oak. On the retro, deeper black pepper, dry nuts, sharp oak, and cream. Finish still medium in length. That's centered around that same dry wood and increased black pepper. So overall, sweet, creamy, got a little bit of specks going on, but pretty smooth profile.
Yeah, the cigar began for me with like a very charred wood and a little hint of nutmeg. And then at a 1/4 inch in, that nutmeg went away, and that char on the wood kind of decreased a little bit. Retrohale was like a much lighter char, which kind of let the wood show a little bit more. And then at 3/4 of an inch in, the char continued to fade, and a slight bit of black coffee kind of joined in with the wood. And then 1 1/4 inch, the coffee went away, and a dull black pepper kind of moved into the background, and it was on the finish, while that kind of charred wood remained up front. And then as the third was coming to a close, that black pepper ramped up a bit to come even with the charred wood. And the retrohale was then consisting of wood without any char and a little bit of black pepper to it. And the strength was just slightly above medium. And then getting to the second third, the char on the wood was very light at that point. Black pepper was still even with the wood. And similar to you, kind of as that burn line reached that gold diamond, I got a little bit of wood bitterness that kind of came in as that black pepper faded a little bit into the background. And 1 inch in, a slight bit of cream joined in with the wood bitterness and that light black pepper. And then as the third was coming to a close, that bitterness increased, and some notes of pine was kind of peeking through from time to time. And the retrohale was a slightly bitter wood, and the strength kind of remained at that slightly above medium mark. And then getting into the final third, the bitterness kind of faded, and that woodiness kind of came back up front. And then at a 1/4 inch in, a little cream joined in with the wood and that slight bitterness. And then at a 1/2 inch in, the wood kind of transitioned to a more defined pine, which that carried a little bit of a bitterness to it. And that cream was still in there in the profile. And then at 1 inch in, that bitterness ramped up, while that pine and the cream kind of remained at that level that they were already at. And as the cigar was coming to a close, the bitterness kind of fell back a little bit. And the primarily creamy pine and the slight bitterness was still there. And strength kind of bumped up to medium full for me in that final third. So performance-wise for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
The burn was very good. Smoked the cigar in 1 hour and 54 minutes, which is really good for a Robusto. Ashes held on strong with a little bit of flowering that averaged 1.5 inch increments. The draw was, although just good. I thought it was a little bit too restricted, but overall, no complaints on the construction of the cigar.
Yeah, the burn for me was perfect. I mean, it was razor sharp the entire way, and ash was holding on like 2 1/4 inch increments. It got well into it fell like pretty much right when it got to the diamond. So that was
Oh, wow.
kind of close to the midpoint of the cigar, and then it really went almost to the nub, that second one, but it dropped just a little bit before I was actually going to put the cigar down. So I still probably had another maybe 8 to 10 draws left after that, after the second ash drop. So that was pretty good. Draw was just slightly tighter than I prefer. Didn't cause any issues, but it was just kind of a preference thing. But otherwise, it was very good. What were your overall thoughts on the cigar?
I found the Black Series to be similar to the White Series that we had, in the sense that I felt like both cigars had this like smooth and balanced kind of a profile going on. I did think that the Black Series gave a little bit more in terms of like that spice punch, but it wasn't by any means powerful spice, but just a little tad bit more in reference to the White Series. Overall, I thought that it was consistently tasty profile with a good mixture of sweet cream, spice, and wood. I didn't feel like it was something that had a lot of transitions or anything, but the flavors and the blended of the profile in general was I thought it was tasty. So overall, a consistently like good profile for me.
Yeah, the flavor profile started out really darkly and kind of that charred wood and black pepper, and kind of continued on until it got a little bit of a slight bitterness into it, and then kind of finished like pretty bright with that pine note. Performance was fantastic, so that's always a plus. But the flavor profile never really hit on all cylinders for me. I was hoping for a little bit more refinement, but that didn't really materialize. But for the people that like darker flavors and kind of like that medium plus strength profile, this might be something that is a good fit for them. I'd be open to smoking this again, but I'm probably not going to go out of my way to acquire one. But if I come across one, or someone offers me one, I wouldn't turn it down to smoke this again. It was pretty, it was a pretty good cigar. So score wise, I gave it a 5.60. You gave it a 6.77. How do you think that matches up?
Which as well. I mean, I give it a good score within the first, second, and last third, coupled by very good burn and good draw. And overall, I thought it was just good. So, that's kind of in line with my expectations.
Yeah, mine matches up. I mean, I gave it average flavor profile all the way through and average overall, but the performance was fantastic, so that kind of helped it out in regards to the score. So I thought it matched up well. Any other final thoughts from you on the cigar?
No, I'm actually curious if these guys are going to be at this year's trade show because I know that Cavalier Geneva in general is kind of like towards that European market.
Right.
So I'm curious if they're ever going to like utilize some like Nicaraguan tobacco or something to get away from the more that, in my opinion, the more that smoother blended profile.
Right. Right.
But no, it's still good. I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. If you're just catching this on YouTube, be sure to go to the website and read the full written review, but also subscribe to us on YouTube. Be sure to check us out on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. And you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.